Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, November 10th. Happy Friday, everyone. Today's also Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to those veterans in here. Market's going to open in about 11 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and set this room real quick, and then we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update, and we should be good to go. A few more things here. That's good. Good there. One last thing here. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. That All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, everyone. Today's Friday, November 10th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. And get everything started shortly. That's good. I just want to make sure everything here is good to go. All right, guys. So I'm going to start marking up liquidity over here on the daily time frame. So we got liquidity there. Go down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. One hour. Down to the 30. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, November 10th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So happy Friday, everyone. Also, today is Veterans Day, guys. So happy Veterans Day to the vets in here. Usually the market's closed today, or I mean, I don't remember the last time it was. The market holidays always change. So I don't know if the volatility is going to be very high today, but we'll try to play around with it and we'll see if there's any opportunity here, once market opens. So Closest level above for liquidity is going to be over here at 34,098. It's going to be a low level liquidity, but liquidity nonetheless. So we're going to put that up there. And we have a lower level down here, stronger liquidity at 33,946. So we got two levels of liquidity right here, down below and above. And we will see where price goes here on open. So we got liquidity marked up right there. Here is our clean chart. I'm going to mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock. I'm going to go back to the 4-hour real quick. I'm going to see if I can mark up some structure just to see if there's any areas that we should look out for. So it looks like the closest level over here would be right there up top. And the closest level below would be down here. Let's go down to the 1 hour real quick, see if there's anything closer. No, that looks about it. Okay, so we got, I'll try to put it over here real quick. So right here, we have 4-hour support level. We got the 4-hour support level. And then we have the 4-hour resistance level right here. Nothing in between, but we'll see what happens when the market opens in about 4 minutes. So we got that marked up right there. Going over here to our high-low scalp V2 chart. Nothing really over here to look at just yet. And then, of course, our main chart over here. Let's check the news real quick, see if there's anything for us to look at today. So looking at the calendar over here, we had some news at 6 o'clock. It was the inflation rate. We had the Fed speaking at 4:30, Fed speaking at 6, and we have more news over here at 7 o'clock. So we had news at 6 o'clock and news at 7 o'clock right here. 6 o'clock news was this red candle right here. Not really much of a movement, but movement nonetheless. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I've marked up pretty much everything for today. Here is the opening prices for pretty much the last couple weeks so far, or since last week. You can see how price kind of dipped down a bit. A couple things might happen here. Price might continue dipping a little lower because the interest rate news was released yesterday, and then price will go up. So if you guys remembered, Powell spoke yesterday. And Powell mentioned that we haven't done enough to stop inflation, right? Or to calm down inflation. So what do you think happens with that? Since he mentioned that, that means that interest rates have to continue going up. So more regulation, more interest rates. It's not good for the economy. So price might come down slightly. This is one of the scenarios that could come out, and then it might bounce off this area and come right back up. That's one scenario. The other scenario is price already dumped here yesterday after he said that. So price might just climb from here up until the end of the year. So I think interest rate news comes out later this month. If he plans to increase, if he increases, then you can expect price to come down further and then a correction to the upside. Or if he doesn't plan to increase until next year, then this will probably continue climbing for the rest of the year. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, November 10th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. Today is also Veterans Day observed. So happy Veterans Day to our vets here. I'm not sure how the market volatility will be today. ATR is currently at 7, so it's actually really slow at the moment. It looks like price is moving, but realistically, it's just a slow snail move to the upside. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens if the volatility does pick up. So let's see who's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Maria. Morning, Sisu. Morning, Dan. Morning, Cern. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Craig. Morning, everybody. Market is opening in about 30 seconds. So let's see what happens here when market opens. Looks like volatility is starting to kind of inch up a little bit. Let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 62% short. This indicates that 62% of retail traders are currently selling right now. Just dropped down to 61. So retail sentiment is bullish. Fundamentals here are also bullish. And the technicals here are also, they're bullish and they're neutral. So I'll go on and just update that real quick. So retail, today's overall bias, retail sentiment is bullish, 62% short. Fundamental bias is bullish, plus 100 points. Short-term technicals, bullish. Long-term technicals, neutral. All right, so there goes the overall bias for today so far. Currently, we have a buy signal right here. So if you get two green candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. This is opening price right here. I'm going to mark that up. So we got opening price right there. I'm going to mark it up on our high-low scalp V2 chart as well. Go over here to our other chart as well. Mark this up right here. This is 10, 10, or 11, 10, 23 open price. All right, so we'll see if price climbs up and comes back to retest the other opening prices up here for correction, but we'll see. I mean, if that's the case, then we have confluence here indicating that we might be looking for some buys. Overall bias is bullish, so that might be the case, but right now we don't have anything at the moment. Breakout V2 has not confirmed yet. The first candle here was red. We need two green candles in order to confirm that. Again, I'm not going to take that trade, but I'll mark it up for you guys. ATR is currently 12 right now, so it's actually still pretty low. Again, we need it to be around 15, guys. 15 is a threshold. So once we get 15 ATR, that's where we can kind of, work with it. We can anticipate that that's going to be a good market volatility for us to start taking these trades, because we can't take any momentum pullback scalps until that becomes the case. And then same here with the high-low scalp V2s. There's not really much for us to work with here until we have some, decent volatility in the market. So market opened right here at 6:30. I'm not going to identify any highs until new ones have been established after market open. So here's the chart for the high-low scalp V2. You can see price is starting to dump back down for correction. Price kind of climbed up a little bit. Now it's correcting back down. And there is not much else here to play with. Let's see, Rashida said, is there liquidity on the top side? I believe so. Yes, yeah, so liquidity right there just got hit, guys. This is the liquidity that I marked up earlier. So liquidity up top just got hit. It actually got hit pre-market, Rashida. So it got hit like on the 629 candle when it climbed up right before market open. And that was the first level of liquidity right there. It's blasted right through. All right, so we currently have a sell signal here. So since we have a sell signal, there's two things to look for here. If we get two red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. If you get two green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. So depending on what you guys are looking for, there's two different opportunities here for entry. So again, if we get two green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. If we get two red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. As you can see, price is starting to dump pretty heavily right here. So you want to be a little careful. Because if it dumps too far, it's going to be overextended, right? So if you measure from this high point right here down to where price is currently at, it's definitely getting to that overextension area right there. Maddie said, going to wait for the market to stabilize and show direction for pullback or high-low V2. Hopefully we can get a nice high-low V2. Yeah, I agree. Like Maria said over here, she said the high-low momentum scalp just hit. Yeah, if you guys took the trade there was a higher high right here. This momentum signal broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2, and that would have been a high-low scalp V2 if you were applying the original strategy. So nice work with identifying that right there, Maria. So you guys can see a lot of back and forth movement right here. We currently had a push to the upside and then a heavy push to the downside right here. So again, if you get 2 green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. It's one of the strategies that we're testing. If you get 2 red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. So 2 different strategies, pretty much lining up alongside each other. It just depends on like where the candles here move. So again, if there's 2 green candles, it's going to be a momentum counter scalp. And if that's the case, then price might climb back up to open. That might be the case here. If it doesn't, and you get 2 red candles, price might continue climbing back down further. And it might try to reach the 4-hour support that we drew over here on our clean chart, right? So 2 different areas over here to look for. We have another zone right there. And another zone down here. So, I mean, price might just be establishing the range, but we'll see what happens. There's still no opportunity here. Again, if there's 2 green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. If there's 2 red candles, that's going to be the breakout V2. Otherwise, I'm personally just waiting for the market to stabilize a bit. Once the market stabilizes here, we can start looking for some possible entries for momentum counter scalps and high-low scalp V2s, or sorry, momentum pullback scalps. The ATR is actually pretty high now. It's up to 16. So this is a good opportunity for us to start looking for some possible entries once the market has kind of stabilized a bit. As you guys can see here from the pivots, there's no direction. So once we have a direction of trend, we can start looking for trades in that direction. But as of now, again, I'm going to be a little patient, just wait for the market here to stabilize. If this candle here closes red, this is going to be the breakout V2. If you guys are looking to take that, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take the trade myself. You can see over here, price is attempting to make its way down to the next level of liquidity down below. And on top of that, another confluence, price is attempting to come down to the 4-hour support right here as well. So there's a lot of things pointing towards the downside. There's a lot of things pointing towards the upside. So just be careful with your entry here. Again, if you guys want to take the trade, I'm going to mark up the breakout V2 right here. I'm not going to take the position. So this is not going to be an official trade, but I will mark it up for you guys because we are testing this for our spreadsheet. So there goes the entry right there for the breakout V2. Again, I'm not in this position. We're just following it, but that is the breakout V2 right there currently running. Bias might be shifting, so we'll have to go back and take a look at that as well. Retail sentiment is still 63% short, so there might be a correction to the upside. It might not happen right now, but it's probably going to happen eventually. Fundamentals are now neutral. Plus 50 here. So you might get a correction to the upside. I mean, we'll see what happens, but and this might be a V1 variation setting up right here if anybody's looking to see that catch that correction to the upside. So I'm not in this breakout V2 right here, but this might be a V1 variation right here setting up. There's a double body rejection, pending momentum. The overall bias here is still, for the most part, bullish. So this might be a V1 variation right here. This price climbs up. We'll see how this climbs up right here. I don't know if anybody's looking to take it. I was going to try to hop into it for a quick 100 pips, but got it. So I got it real quick, guys. I had a feeling this was going to play out. So that's why I wasn't looking for the sell here, because the overall bias was a bullish bias. We had a retail sentiment, which is really strong. It's now at 63. That's why this is my main indicator when I look for direction of price. So when I saw this right here, that this was 62% or 63, it actually increased. And I saw here that this kind of loosened up a little bit. Once I saw that double body and I saw a strong green candle, I was like, this is going to correct back up. So breakout V2 didn't play through, but the V1 variation here played out perfectly. So I took that trade. It was a really quick, you had to be on your feet on that trade. I was looking for Vince. Vince isn't even here right now. This dude's probably went partying last night, but it's all good. And I was like, Vince, where are you? I was waiting for Vince to call out the V1. When I saw that double body right there and I saw the strong green candle, I had a feeling this was going to shoot right back up. So that's why I took it myself. I usually don't take the V1s anymore, but it was too good of an entry to pass up. So I'm going to go and put this in the spreadsheet for the breakout V2. I'm going to put this here as a loss. Of course, it's not an official trade, but I did take the V1 variation there. It just looked like such a great entry. And then there goes a momentum counter scalp as well, guys. So the momentum counter scalp right there also played through. So this is why I still use the bias, guys. I still like to look at the bias because whenever I see price come down like this, if I knew everything here was bullish, I'm going to look for that correction back to the upside. You know, this drop here is probably temporary, which it was, and it played through in the direction that it was actually supposed to go in. So you got to look out for those fake outs. You know, these fake outs happen all the time. So if you have some sort of bias in the market, this is why I always recommend that you guys have a bias. You don't have to have a bias, but it's always useful to have because you know which direction to look at, right? You're looking for the correction. So, all right, I'm going to put this right here in the spreadsheet. I didn't take this trade, so it's not counting as an official trade, of course. I gave you guys a heads up for that. I did take the V1 variation though. So that was a flop basically. Here is the momentum counter scalp. So I'll add that over here. Entry came up at 639. The momentum counter scalp's been on a pretty strong winning streak, guys. If you guys can see over here, this is another reason why I was kind of looking for this momentum counter scalp to come in, because you can see that it's been killing it for the past like couple of weeks now. So there goes a momentum counter scalp right there. And then the trade that I took right here was the V1 variation. So I'm going to put that right here as well. Went in the direction of the bias. Looks like Maddie over here caught it. Sisu caught it. William caught it. Pretty solid. I mean, it was a pretty good trade. A pretty good setup. Whenever you guys see a big correction like that, like say, for example, price comes down and you see like basically an engulfing candle, typically it's going to go in that direction. So if you ever see a V1 variation and it's engulfing, it's typically going to play through pretty nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here real quick. This was a V1 variation. 11, 10, 23. Entry came up at 6. Time entry come up was 639. It's for a buy, win, quick 100 pips. So you guys can see I've only been going for like about 100 pips for this month so far because of the low volatility. Hopefully the volatility picks back up and we can start looking for any other entries here. So solid work right there, guys, if anybody was able to catch that. We currently have a 19 ATR, so we actually do have opportunity here for a momentum pullback scalp if and when it does come up. So I'll go and put this over here real quick. There's overall bias. So we need price to push up a bit higher. We need price to be above this level here before we can start looking for any entries. So basically price needs to climb up here and then possibly any entries once we get to that point. We are getting close to news though, so careful for the news at 7 o'clock. And I mean, we'll just see where this ends up going. All right, we have the high-low scalp V2 marked up right there. There's another high-low scalp V2 that came up right here pre-market. I was thinking about taking it if it would come back up. There's another high-low scalp V2 over here on the 5 as well. That is, so if price continues to climb up higher, there may be an entry right here on the 5 minute. We'll use this as a confluence. So if price continues to climb up, we have an idea that, okay, price is probably going to keep pushing up even higher to hit the TP here on the 5 minute. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, price pretty much just faked out right here. As it faked out, it's like pretty much climbing or attempting to climb back up to opening price, which is right here. Put this at the front. Scalp V2 chart right there. All right, I'm gonna give a little update over here for my profits. If you guys made profits on any of those trades that we covered, whether it be the high-low scalp, whether it be the liquidity push, V1 variation, momentum counter scalp, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll go over everyone's profits as well. So this right here feels kind of good taking a V1 variation, right? V1 variation was one of the main strategies that we used to apply for a while. I mean, the V1 is one of the staples, I think. I think it's still one of the good strategies. The only problem with the V1 that I don't like so much is that it's it's not a 1-to-1, it's a 1-to-3. I think we can make changes on that. We can base it off the ATR, so we can just round it up. So for example, if we were to take the V1 variation over here, same entry, ATR right there was 19. We could have went for a 20-20, just rounded it up, and it still would have played out perfect. So I think we can make some adjustments to the V1 variation with regard to TP stop loss to make it a 1-to-1, and then it can possibly be a staple depending on what the market gives us, if we have a strong bias or not. Because the V1 is still one of my favorite strategies. I still apply it every so often whenever I see any good entries. We just have to make adjustments to the TP stop loss, of course. All right, so it looks like price is pretty much just ranging around this area. Yeah, Lisa said she still uses the V1 often in Asia and London. The V1 works very well, guys. It works well on other time frames too. So if you want to apply it on the higher time frames, the V1 is still a pretty solid strategy. You just have to have a bias when you're trading it, because it's not one of those strategies that you trade both directions. I mean, technically, you probably could trade it in both directions, but I wouldn't. I would probably trade it in just one direction, usually the direction of the trend, with at least some other confluence or bias. But anyways, guys, looking at current price right here, you can see that price is pretty much now just consolidating and ranging within this area. It might consolidate around here, and we'll be waiting for that breakout once price finally makes its way out of this area here. So we'll continue looking, but at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take right now. I'm going to take a screenshot of all my profits for the day. Let's go over here real quick. All right, there's nothing going on, guys. We're just waiting now, again, for price to kind of stabilize a bit. But let's take a look at everybody's profits so far. There's just nothing for us to take here right now. The trend still hasn't shifted. There's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. If price comes down, that's fine. We'll start looking for any sells here, but at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take here. So looking over here at our team profits, we currently have we have Jamie over here, total profit of 414, all wins here. Nice work, Jamie. So solid profits right there for Jamie's account. We have Maddie over here, total profit of 180 per account. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80 accounts here. So about, well over 1,000 for the day. Nice work right there, Maddie. We've got Valentine over here, total profit of 2,242. Nice work right there, Valentine. Looking over here, we also have Andreas, total profit of 1,010 for the day, full TP on that break on that V1. So nice work right there, Andreas. And then here goes my profits from that V1 variation that we took right here. So for the V1 variation right there, here are my profits across all my accounts. For my first account, on my funded engineer, locked in 1,400. My FTMO locked in 1,310. My second FTMO locked in 2,720. My third FTMO, total profit of 2,120. So as you guys can see here, I merged two of my accounts. So I now have two 200K accounts for FTMO, and then I have the 100 right here. This is my second funded engineer account locked in 695. My first personal account locked in 303. My second personal account locked in 405. My TFF locked in 1,365. And my second TFF total profit of 1,365. So, like I mentioned before, guys, once you get pretty solid at focusing on quality entries, you can see over here, I took one trade today. I took one V1 variation. There was like literally no drawdown. I went straight to TP, and it actually got me some slippage, so I made more profit. And you can see how much profit I made off one trade, right? This is the level that I want to get you guys to. I know a lot of you guys keep going back and forth between like not liking negative risk reward, or then also taking a lot more trades, right? So a lot of you guys want to take like 3 or 5 trades a day, or you want to go for negative risk to reward, or you want to go for those big pushes. You don't have to stress out about that. For me, I took this trade. It took me like 1 second, right? Literally, this trade shot up in like a few seconds, and here's my profit for the day, right? You just can't be dumb about the trades you take. Everybody's mindset is kind of different. You know, if you're a new trader, of course, you're kind of excited and you want to take a lot of trades and you want to catch these big moves and you want to be a show off, right? That's how a lot of people are. They're like, oh, I caught this huge move, right? This makes sense. It makes sense until it doesn't, right? Because that's just how it is, guys. Like, you know, I've mentored so many people over the years, and trust me, there's a lot of people who joined us. They made profit initially, and then they blew it all because they started doing something different. And then they start doing something different, and they're like, okay, this works. So here's the thing that, and I'm just going off topic right now because there's no entries for us to take here at the moment, guys. But this is usually what happens. So new trader follows K2, right? That's typically what happens. New trader follows. Does well here. I'll just put it in here actually. And there's no entries for us to take right now, guys, so it's not really a big deal. So new trader follows K2. Does well. Starts and thinks about doing own thing. That's like one thing right there. Blows account due to revenge trading. Moves to new strategy. And then what do you think happens there, right? Moves to new strategy. Does well. And what do you think happens after that? Moves to new strategy. Does well. Thinks about doing their own thing. Blows account. What happens after that? Blows most of money. Comes back to K2. That's literally what happens. This is usually what happens. New traders follow K2, do well, think about doing their own thing, blows account due to revenge trading, moves to new strategy, does well, thinks about doing another thing, blows account, moves to another strategy, does another thing, comes back a few months later, blows most of its money, comes back to K2, and then tries to restart the process over and over again. So guys, don't let this happen to you, right? I've been trading for a long time. I've been mentoring a lot of people for a long time. Trust me, there's a lot of people here who have like came, left, and guess what? They're back here again. Because the thing with like that I try to emphasize for you guys is that it doesn't matter what strategy you're applying. You just have to stick to the strategy. Sometimes the market's not going to give you what you're looking for. And you just got to stick to what works for you, right? If scalping works for you and our strategies work for you, I recommend it, just stick to it. But this is typically what happens with a lot of people. It's like a full circle. And it's always funny because, well, I mean, it sucks because some people just have to go through this to actually get it. But when people come back to K2, like say a couple months or a year later, they're like, oh, this was really easy. I should have just stuck to this because we have the data to back up the strategy. So what I do recommend, guys, to a lot of you guys is to just find something that works for you and stick to it, right? I know a lot of you guys want to experiment, especially if you guys are new. It's fine. You guys can, this is like one thing that I would probably recommend. For each strategy, I would do a 1-year rule. So if you're going to use a strategy, follow strategy for at least 1 year, right? Because the market cycles will change throughout that year. The bigger thing is the 5-year rule of trading. If you've been trading for 5 years and you're still not profitable, then it's, sorry to break it to you, but trading is probably not for you. If you're out on break even or you haven't made any profit in 5 years, trading is probably not for you because you're probably not good at you're not good at sticking to one thing. So I want to give you guys that heads up because like it's like the tough news that a lot of people don't want to hear, but you got to have consistency and discipline to stick to like one thing for at least a year. When you're trading, stick to at least one strategy for an entire year and don't change it. I'm almost guaranteed you'll be profitable. It doesn't matter what strategy you apply. If you apply what we're doing here, if you're applying support resistance, break and retest, any of that stuff, if you just stick to like one thing, one thing, then you'll be pretty solid. But like the rule of thumb in finance, like if you talk to any person that does finance or investing and stuff, the rule of thumb is a 5-year and a 10-year plan. 5 years, if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again for 5 years and it doesn't work, trading is probably not for you because you're not good at following directions and you're not good at trading is just not for you, right? The 10-year plan is if you're going between strategies and you're still not profitable, then because the thing is, within 10 years, you should probably have like an idea of your trading style. But within 5 years, you should probably like be able to be at least some like profitable to some extent, but you have to be using a certain strategy for at least more than a year. Craig here said, maybe I should just give up. It's been nearly 6 years. The thing with you, Craig, is that I don't think you've ever stuck to anything, right? Because you came back when you came back and returned to K2, you mentioned that, you should have just stuck to K2. So I think your case is a little different because I think you've gone through a lot of different cycles where you kind of went from strategy to strategy. You also like paid people to like trade your account. That's one thing I never recommend anybody to do. Never have anybody trade your account because what's the point of doing that, right? They might make you some money here and there, but then eventually once they stop trading for you, you're back to square one. So yeah, Craig, I think your situation is a little different because when you first joined K2, you came from a different group and you're like the type of person that bounces, like you're the type of person that actually falls into that circle that I just drew earlier, right? You're the person that kind of goes from one strategy and you're like, oh, this doesn't work. I'm going to go and do something else. And then you're like, okay, a month later, oh, this doesn't work either. I'm going to go to something else. So you're not good at like following things through, right? That's yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Craig said. Craig said, I just need to forget all the background stuff. I said that out loud. Oh, that's me he's describing. And it's fine, Craig, 'cause that's how everybody is. You're not the only person that it happens to. It actually happens to majority of people in trading. Anyways, guys, I know we're going off topic, but there's nothing here for us to take anyways. I'm still looking for any possible opportunities here. We might have a high-low scalp V2 setting up right here. The only problem here is that we need to wait for this to actually confirm. So, and there's also news coming up at 7 o'clock. So hopefully, sometimes I go on these rants, guys, but these rants are like, it's not me complaining about people. It's me just really trying to get into your guys's psyche because a lot of you guys, you kind of just need somebody to tell you what's happening so that you actually realize that it's happening. Because the last thing I want for you guys to do is to go in that cycle. I don't really care if you guys stay here or go to other groups, but I want you guys to like understand that you just need to focus on one thing, right? Just focus on one thing and see it through. Because I'm pretty sure if you see it through and if you guys journal your trades, you'll be able to see profitability. I'm almost guaranteed you'll find profitability because there's times where support resistance strategy works. There's times where supply and demand strategy works. There's times where momentum works. There's time when trading strategy works. It's just for me personally, I like to trade with the trend and I like to trade with momentum. So this is my trading style. There's no one way to trade. There's like hundreds of ways to trade out there and majority of them are profitable. It's just, you have to stick to it even when the market's not giving you what you're looking for. So yeah, I just hate to see people get in that never ending cycle because I was in that cycle for a while too. You guys remember I've been trading for like 10 years. Even before you guys saw when I was calling signals, I was trading a little differently back then. But I always came back to trend and momentum. So I'm a trend trader who trades based off momentum. That's basically my trading style. That's what you're trading. If you trade the way I do here, guys, you're a trend trader, but you trade based off momentum. So you look for momentum swings in the market, and then you enter off those swings. That's like the V1 variation, right? Price swings up, you get a V1 variation, comes back down. You're trading the direction of the trend, but you're looking for momentum for that entry. Or, if you're looking for a trend direction in the trend, like for example, we have a pivot scalp right here, right? Price with a sell signal below the trend, like the trend is coming down. That's another example of being a trend trader and trading in the direction of momentum. So yeah, what I recommend, guys, is just, stick to what works for you and just continue doing it. It doesn't have to be my strategy, but you just got to see it through. All right, guys, so we have news coming up right here in about a minute. We'll see what happens here shortly. There's no entries here to take anyways to begin with. I mean, there was a momentum pullback scalp right here, but it's a little too close to news. Actually, there was no momentum. There's technically one right here. But we're like pretty much really close to news, so I wouldn't have taken it. I don't know if anybody caught that momentum pullback scalp. There's a sell signal. Trend was barely shifting to a sell, and then it shot up right here, and it came back for entry, some drawdown, and straight to TP. There goes a huge news candle right there. Dang, you guys see that whipsaw? This thing's whipsawing back and forth right now. So there goes a news candle. Price just whipsawed super heavy. Price came down really hard, shot right back up, and then it came right back down. High impact news, guys, so I'd be careful with these entries here. I personally would not have taken anything right now, of course. So news right here at 7 o'clock, we had economic optimism, consumer expectations, 5-year inflation expectations, current conditions, consumer sentiment, inflation expectation as well for November. And it's pretty much mixed news. So mixed news right here, as you guys can see, huge whipsaw with this candle. About a 500 pip move right there, spike back and forth. And one thing too, guys, that I recommend is if you guys have a problem with over trading or revenge trading, I would recommend finding a hobby, right? So like one good hobby that I would recommend is Call of Duty just came out, so I've been playing that. And that forces me not to trade in the afternoon. I know a lot of you guys want to trade in like an Asia session. Asia session is cool if it fits your trading style. Like for example, Lisa here, she trades Asia session in London. She does very well in those sessions because that's her time zone, right? She's not trading at a weird time of the day, and she knows how the market works. So what I'd recommend is like, if you guys know that you guys lose trades during Asia and London session, then just don't trade during that time. But if you guys have figured out a way to trade during that session, it's always good to stick to what you're good at. So stick to the session you're good at, stick to the strategies you're good at, stick to the trading style that you're good at, and just get really good at that. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said people should journal throughout the session. Yeah, Lisa said, I'm only awake now because the baby woke me. Yeah, it's probably gonna be me soon too, Lisa, hopefully. And next year, year after. All right, cool. So, all right, guys. Looks like there might be a high-low scalp V2 setting up this level right here. So what I'm going to be looking for here, guys, is I'm going to be looking for a really strong pullback. The reason for that is because this right here was basically a big push down based off the news candle. This was news candle right here. So I actually want this to pull up a little bit heavier, guys. I want it to push up a bit heavier, and then I'll catch as it comes back down. I'm not going to enter it right away because you guys have seen this pattern kind of play throughout the week where a lot of fake outs happen around this area. ATR is currently at 20 right now. So the ATR is still not super high. It's not super high, but it's also not super horrible. Looking over here at the 5-minute, price never came back to fill this this level right there. So there might be a correction back up, or if price continues to climb down lower. Yeah, nothing yet. I was gonna use a 5-minute as a confluence, but there's no confluence there just yet. So looking over here, there's a couple confluences indicating that price might come down. You can see over here for liquidity, price might come down to hit this level of liquidity down below. Looking again over here at the clean chart, price can come down and try to attempt to test the 4-hour level support right here. There's no other zones available right now at the moment. All right, so you guys can see over here how price is currently, looks like it's attempting to establish a support right here on the 1-minute. Price hasn't come up yet here on the 1-minute for the high-low scalp V2. We can't look for any momentum pullback scalps at the moment either, guys, because we need a new momentum signal. So we need a buy signal to confirm the retracement, and then the sell signal is going to confirm the continuation back to the downside. So you can see over here how price is coming down. We need price to correct back up and come back down. And you can see it kind of sets up for a head and shoulders pattern. You know, I don't trade patterns, but that's basically what we're looking for here. We're looking for a head and shoulders here on the 1 minute. We're looking for a buy signal to push price back up. Look for the sell signal to come back down. And then provide us entry there for a head and shoulders, basically. All right, no entry here for the momentum pullback scalp. We'll come back to that once we get a buy signal. Looking over here at the high-low scalp V2, we currently have a breaking close below it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fourth candle. If it doesn't come up on the next candle, then there's no entry here for a high-low scalp V2. Maddie said, I wanted to retest the 7 a.m. news, then drop. Yeah, same here, Maddie. I think that'd be pretty solid for it to come back up. Retest it for the fake out correction, and then come right back down. I think that'd be perfect. All right, so it's not looking like we're going to get a high-low scalp V2 right here, guys. One thing that I was talking about with Maddie the other day is I just want to get a full high-low scalp V2 right. I don't think I've gotten a high-low scalp V2, a full move in a long time because of this low volatility. Typically, the ATR is a lot higher. I mean, for today, it's actually pretty good. It's currently at 20, which is pretty solid for the most part. But I think, you know, it's been a while since we got a full move here, like a full move that I actually held on to. So that's kind of one thing that I'm aiming for. I'm hoping to get set sometime soon. You know, if the market doesn't move very smooth today, then I'm hoping next week it's going to be a lot smoother. Let me check the calendar real quick to see if there's any updates for news next week. So next week, okay, perfect. Next week is inflation week. So we got all the CPI news next week. We got CPI pretty much all day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have retail sales. Basically, a lot of inflation news. Next week is inflation week. So we got a lot of news coming up next week. I'm hoping this is going to push price around because this week and the past 2 weeks have been pretty crappy. If you guys have noticed, it just hasn't been very, very consistent. A lot of ranges. Nothing on Monday. Monday is usually going to be kind of flat. We have Fed Cook speaking on Monday. He's probably going to discuss all the inflation news that's going to come out. And then we have heavy news throughout the entire week. So yeah, William said Monday's clear. So I think Monday's going to be a good day for us to me, it's going to be a good day for us to really figure out where, you know, where price might be moving. And then from there, we'll get the volatility on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right, so let me check this real quick. We had one candle that broke right here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is still set up for a high-low scalp V2, guys. I'm not sure if anybody's looking to take it. Again, I'm not looking to take it just yet. I'm looking for price to kind of push up a bit higher and then come back down to fill. So I actually wanted to push up a little bit higher from where it's currently at. And then if and when it comes back down for the correction, I think it's going to be a smoother move to the downside. So I don't have my pending order here just yet. If it comes down, I'll follow it, but I don't have my pending order ready yet. I'm just waiting for it to kind of pull up a little bit. I want it to pull up far enough to not hit stop loss. And then I want it to, or like not enough for it to get this high and then have it climb all the way back down. Because this is a fake out that I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to really fake out pretty strong and then come down super strong for the correction. But if it goes past this level, I'm probably not going to take it. Yeah, I didn't have time. It didn't. So it's currently active already, guys. I'll follow it right here. I'm not in the position, unfortunately, but it's all good. I'm going to follow it and see where it goes. It didn't really push up as hard as I wanted it to. So I didn't get into the position. I'll just continue following it here. I'm hoping it hits. So I'm hoping it still comes down and hits, but I'm not in the position. Yeah, Maddie said it might drop about 10 from here. I'll mark this up as the 10. So that you guys can see the levels here. Yeah, it looks like the 10 is going to get hit. 10 got blasted right through. So 10 points right there just got hit. There's the 20 below. So I'm not going to get in the position, guys. It's too late for me to enter. I'm not going to follow into this position here. Today's Friday. As you guys know, Fridays and Mondays are typically the riskier days to trade. So you just want to be a little careful with your entries here. But yeah, the the 100 pip move right there already got hit if you guys went for like the partial. Again, right now the volatility is still very low. You can see it's not very low, but it's lower than it should be. It's currently at 20 right now. So a 30 pip move or a 30-point move is still kind of big with this low volatility, because the movement's not fast enough to really just blast right through like it's supposed to. Like if this was 25 ATR, this would be great, because then price would drop 25 points and then like 2 drops and it's done to full TP. Right now, the ATR is not that great. This might be the case right here. So this might even set up for a sell for the high-low scalp V2 on the 5-minute. So this might be a confluence. If price swings back up for retracement, so it might retrace up a little bit, and then it might come right back down, because a 5-minute confluence right here, it's the same setup right here, Maddie, on the 5, if the trend starts to shift. So you can see right there how it's starting to shift up. Might shift up a little bit, then come right back down. So there's a pretty good confluence right here. This is what I was using as a confluence to see if like it would set up. There's no trend confirmed here yet, but eventually the trend will probably confirm, and when it does, it'll set up for the entry here. There's no momentum pullback scalps at the moment, guys. We're looking for a sell signal. Once the sell signal closes, we can start looking for a momentum pullback scalp. This right here, we can use in conjunction with the high-low scalp V2. So again, you guys see how price is kind of going back and forth for a while. This is what I didn't want to end up in, because I hate holding on to positions for too long. So another reason why I held off on taking the entry. But again, right here, if we get a sell signal and we get price to come down from where it's at, it's going to move in line with the high-low scalp V2. So that's 2 confluences right there, maybe even 3 confluences with a 5-minute if it ends up, providing an opportunity for entry there. So I'm not in this position here, guys. I'm just following it. It didn't line up how I wanted it to. There's no sell signal here yet on the main chart, so there's no momentum pullback scalp, but I will try to keep you guys as updated as possible for entry here. Hey, what's up, Brock? David said same here. Save lots of money following Sean's strategy and advice. Yeah, definitely, Brock. David. Brock said take the momentum pullback scalp, learning it and loving it. Yeah, I think the pullback scalp is probably everyone's favorite strategy for the most part, because it just flows with the market, right? Whenever you look at the pullback scalps here, it just flows perfectly with how market is moving. The high-low scalp V2 is also a good strategy, but there's a lot of trickiness to it. So sometimes you want to be careful with looking for entries, because like, for example, here, look how it pulled up and it faked out. This is the fake out that I actually was looking for. This is what me and Maddie wanted to happen earlier. You wanted price to climb up a little bit and then come down super hard. So you guys can see there's a lot of erratic candles right here. This huge wick. Hopefully this is a big push for it to come back down, and it looks like it is coming down now. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for, Maddie. It just didn't play out like that initially. I didn't get into the position though. Yeah, that was the entry. So this is exactly what we were looking for. We were looking for price to pull up right here and then come back down super hard. This was the entry that we were waiting for it to set up for, but it didn't end up coming up like that. I'm not going to FOMO into the move. I'll let the trade play out, but I'll look for other entries here to like kind of jump in. So I'll look for the momentum pullback scalp to provide an entry. Once we get that, I'll hop in on this here. The 5-minute here still hasn't played through. It's kind of just, moving back and forth. And it's just back into this range. So you guys can see the range here between these 2 levels. Looking at the levels right here, here's the resistance, here's the support, and price is pretty much just ranging between this area here. So I'm hoping that the breakout will happen to the downside. I mean, it's still ranging within this area. So eventually it's going to break out, whether to the downside or to the upside. I'm hoping it breaks out to the downside because for whoever's taking the high-low scalp V2, it's going to blast right through to your TP. So I'm hoping that's the case here where price, I'm fine with price ranging right here at the moment. But I'm hoping that eventually when price does break out of this range, because you can see the fake out happened up here with that big wick, right? Price faked out, kind of scared people a little bit, went sideways, shot up, scared people, and then it came right back down to correction. And hopefully it blasts right through here and test the 4-hour level support. Because if that's the case, then it's going to hit everybody's TP for whoever's in that position. And then hopefully it'll provide us some opportunity to take the momentum pullback scalp. Man, here goes Vince. Vince just joined the room. Vince, you missed that on your favorite entry, bro. I'm not sure if you took it on your own, but V1 variation came up right here. It was like a perfect V1, and we all took it. And you were like the only person that wasn't here. Yeah, Maddie said Vince missed the cleanest V1 I've ever seen. Rewind took over. I know you were at Rewind yesterday, huh? I swear, Vince, every time Vince goes out to party, oh no, he wasn't partying, but he just wasn't here. Yeah, but yeah, because this trade came up right here, Vince, the V1 variation, and I was like asking where you were at. And I looked at the member list and you weren't there, but it was perfect. It came down, overall bias was bullish. It was a strong green candle, double body, and it shot right through. Like I don't even take the V1s, but that one was like so clean that I took it myself. All right, so price is still in profit over here for the high-low scalp V2, guys. There's no other entries for us at the moment. It got really close to TP. You can see how it hit the 20-point mark right here. So it's currently, it's made its way almost a full TP. It's just not there yet. This is the type of position that I don't want to be in because this is just running for too long. If I was in this position, I would have pulled out at either the 100 pip mark or the 200 pip mark, but it's just not, it's just ranging right here. It's ranging within the two zones that I drew over here. So I would personally pull out. If you guys can pull out for like as much profit as possible, the reason why I'm saying that is because you can see how there's fake outs on both sides, right? Price faked out right here. Price faked out right here. Price faked out right here. And now it's back into the range. So, I mean, I personally, if I was holding on to this position right here, I probably would get out at the 200. And there you go. There goes the other opportunity there. There's about like 3 opportunities to get out at 200 pip profit because I'm not going to risk losing this trade or getting out at break even for like the last 100 pips, right? The thing is the ATR is so low, it's currently back to 18 now, that it's going to be really difficult for someone to like, I mean, it's going to be easy for someone to get greedy, but it's going to be difficult for someone to hold on to this and not have to trip out about it, right? Because I would be stressing out right now, for example, if I like didn't pull out and there was so many opportunities down here to get out at the 200 mark. And here you go, price comes back up. Because this is what happens with the market sometimes. When price comes down like this, what happens to most people, they move their stop loss and profit, right? So as soon as they move their stop loss and profit, what happens? Price comes out for a retracement, stops them out at break even, comes back down, hits their TP. So for me, I would just get out right here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give up like 10 points to get out at 20. Because I think that's the worst feeling. The worst feeling is when you move your stop loss and profit. That's why usually I don't move my stop loss and profit at all. I just pull out in profit because I'd rather get my 200 points than just waste my time here and get out at break even, right? Because I'm pretty sure, and there you go, it went right back to break even. It's like the same pattern. It's just the market's messing with people right now because it's within this range. I think this would have been the biggest red flag. If I saw the fake out right here where price got below the support and then I saw it bounce back up or pull back into this area, that's where I've been like, okay, it's the same pattern here. Like you guys can see right here, it's literally the same pattern. See how price came down and faked out, closed below the support, and it shot right back up. Price came down right here, closed below the support, shot right back up. Same exact pattern repeated itself over and over again. So that's why I'm just, when you guys see me exit trades early, it's because I see these patterns, but it happens too quickly for me to like explain it to you guys. But the more and more that you guys look at my markups and my charts, you'll see that these patterns repeat themselves over and over again. So again, right here, you might see another fake out to the top. And if you see another like huge wick bounce like this right here, you can expect it to come back down. If you don't see that big wick bounce, then price is probably going to continue climbing up from there, right? So just try to train your eyes to see these patterns. I'm not a pattern trader, but I do see these patterns. It's hard to miss. That's why I draw the structure here, because the structure helps you guys understand and see where these patterns are coming up. Because it's just the same repeat process, like over and over again. So again, price is back into this ranged area. The ATR is kind of down. There's no momentum pullback scalp. ATR is currently 18 right now, so it's a bit slow. Let's go back to that 5 minute over here. The 5 minutes actually looking good, Rashida. So like the 5 minute that we were looking at earlier, you can see here that it's starting to set up. So price might correct back down from where it's at right here. So it looks like if price comes back down from where it's currently at, it might come down and I mean, if it fills, it'll probably come right back down from where it's currently at. So see if this is the case here. It looks like it might be coming back down. So this trade's still running. I mean, it's going back to break-even area. The 5 minute looks like it probably has filled now. And it is currently, it's going back and forth. So over here on the 1 minute on our main chart, we're looking for a sell signal. If we can get a sell signal, we can probably look for a momentum pullback scalp. And then over here for the high-low scalp V2, the same trade is still running. It's running within that range. Yeah, Maddie said the next sell entry should be super clean. I agree. So I'd be looking over here at the momentum pullback scalp, basically. I'll be looking for this here to set up. And we'll see where it goes. So it looks like there might be another fake out here. If you see another big wick, like I mentioned over here. So if this candle wicks down and you get like a red candle there, I think it's probably going to swing back down to the range or lower range. It's got 30 seconds left on the candle, so it's got some time. So now just gotta wait. I'm gonna take a look at sentiment real quick. Sentiment is currently 61% short. So I mean, there might be a correction, but who knows? Fundamentals right now are currently they're a little bullish, 95 points. Let me see if there's any V1s down there. No, not exactly. There goes price comes back down. I mean, I don't know where price is going right now, guys. Personally, I don't know where price is going. Because it's just kind of mixed right now. So the fundamentals are, I mean, they were bullish, but then they can easily just shift back. The trend here is still kind of bearish, but it looks like it's attempting to shift. I mean, if we get a strong red candle here, I mean, price can come right back down. So price is above. Let me see if there's any new levels here. This might be resistance. It's a messy market. As you guys can see, there's not really much here to work with. But it just keeps going to new ranges, basically. This is still technically the main range right here down below. So this can easily just fake out and then come back down into the range, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really hoping for anything because price is going to do what it needs to do. But I think that might be the case. So if price does fake out around here and it comes back down, it's probably going to pull back into this lower range. But again, we are just going to wait for this here to play through. Let me go back to that 5 minute real quick. 5 minutes still kind of bouncing around from where it's at. Let's see. Jackson said he's up 1,600. I want to sign out, but I'm too thugged out. Yeah, I know for sure. It's pulling back into this range, just like what we anticipated. So if I take this off right here, there was a new zone that was attempting to establish right there, but it was just a fake out. So the fake outs here are pretty nasty, as you guys can see. Price kind of pushes down, fakes out, pushes up, fakes out, pushes down, fakes out, comes back up. This is probably the biggest fake out right here. Fake out of the day. Just fake out right there. People thought the price was going to climb up, and then whoever took the buy there just got pretty much demolished, and price came right back down into the same range. So here we go. As price faked out right there. And it's right back to. So guys, if you guys are still holding on to this high-low scalp V2, I highly recommend you guys pull out in profit. I actually want you to pull out in profit because you guys can see that there's not really much going on here. Because last thing I want for you guys to do is take a dump trade here on Friday and then go into the weekend all pissed off because you could have exited here in profit, but you did. There's a lot of opportunities to pull out for more profit down here. I don't think this is a day to get greedy. I don't even know if anybody's in this position, but if you are, I'm talking directly to you. I would pull out of this position in profit when you have the opportunity. There's so many opportunities here to pull out. I mean, it got super close to your stop loss if you're holding on to it. It got super close to your TP and also got super close to your stop loss. So this is probably a wake-up call, right? It's probably like, all right, I got to get out of this position because this position has been running for way too long. As you guys can see, this thing went back and forth for how long now? Entry happened right here. It's been going back and forth for about 20 minutes. That's way too far, guys. Like, just thinking about it, that's way too long for it to be holding to be holding on to this type of position. It's a scalp strategy. So you're not supposed to be holding on to it for more than 5 minutes, right? 5-10 minutes is like the threshold. 5 minutes is usually okay. I should pull out for partial profit. 10 minutes is like I should definitely pull out for profit. Anything after 10 minutes, it's no longer a scalp. Scalp entries are supposed to happen right away. This is turning into an intraday entry. If you hold on to this for about 30 minutes or more, this is now considered an intraday entry. So again, if you guys have the opportunity, which you do, I would pull out in profit because the last thing you want to do is regret not pulling out in profit. And there you go, the price spiking down. You have another opportunity here back at 200 pips, guys. And this was a high-low momentum scalp right here as well, guys. Higher high right there. Sell signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And if you guys held on to it, I mean, props to you guys because I could never. Even though I thought this was going to play through, I could never. Like once I saw this right here, I would have been like, all right, I'm out as soon as it went into profit. Yeah, Kevin said legit a roller coaster. Might get a pullback scalp, but that's a big candle. Yeah, we'll see. Not gonna lie, guys. I kind of FOMO'd into this move here too. So I had a feeling this was gonna come back down. So when I saw this come down right here, I actually got in for like a quick little move. And this is why I was telling you guys to pull out because I got FOMO right there and I pulled out like around this area here for like 820 pips or 820 profit. And that's when I was telling you guys to pull out because I was out of my position and I don't want you guys to hold on to it for too long. So I took a FOMO move right here. It's not going to count as an entry because there's nothing there, but I did see this. So when I saw this pattern right here come down, actually not right here on the clean chart. So this is where I got in for my little FOMO move. When price came down right here, and you guys saw that I drew this to go back into the range. That's where I got in. So I got in right here. When price came down and it pulled back into the range right here, I got in for a quick little move and then it pulled me out for some slippage. I got out for like 820. So this trade's not going to count. You guys can see here that I'm taking trades just off my analysis. I know there's no strategy to it, but I'm taking trades off my analysis because my analysis usually plays through, right? So right here, I said fake out. Oops. So earlier I said fake out, fake out, fake out. And I said if price comes back up over here, it's probably going to fake out. And I said this is probably going to be the biggest fake out of the day, right? Where it came from that area there and came back into the range. And when I said that, I was like, okay, this thing's starting to pull back into the range like I just said it was going to. So I pulled in for a small little sell, and then I got hit with some slippage off this, like these candles right here, and it pulled me out for 820 profit. So I just want to give you guys my little explanation there. So when you guys do see my profits later, you guys aren't like, what the heck, where did this come from, right? And again, right here, another fake out. So fake out above, fake out below, and we'll see if it goes right back into the range again. Just be careful with your entries here, guys. You guys can see the fake outs are pretty obvious and they're pretty clear. And look where price came down to. So if when I mentioned earlier, I said price is probably to come down and go down to the 4-hour level of support, right? And look where price came down to, 4-hour level of support. Came up, pretty much lured in all the buyers, came down super hard, straight to the 4-hour support, and then back into the range. Let's see. Maddie mentioned that there was a momentum pullback scalp. Let's see. Yeah, it already hit TP, it looks like. Or I'm not sure if it hit yet, but it looks like it might have hit already, like super quickly. Gotcha. I'm not in this position here, guys. I didn't even see it. Maddie identified it. I'm just gonna watch it here. I'm kind of okay with where I'm currently at right now. Maddie's also just watching it. Man, these past couple of weeks they haven't been that good. ATR is currently dropping again, guys. It's down to 17. It was at 20 earlier. It's now back to 17. I mean, this is still fair game for the entry. This is a valid entry for a momentum pullback scalp. I'm just not in the position because after warning you guys about this range right here, the fake out and the range, I was going to be a sucker in this move right here. So, all right, as we wait for this here, and price did exactly what I just said it was going to do, right? I said it was going to come down to the 4-hour support and come back into the range. And that's exactly what's happening here. I think this has been really helpful that I've been drawing up the structure, because the structure here kind of shows you guys exactly where to avoid, right? Because you can see the messiness that happens outside the range. Fake out right there, fake out right there, and it just comes right back into this middle area here. So I'll continue to try to give you guys updates about the market structure, because I think when you guys understand the market structure, you guys can see that price is ranging super heavily right here. It'll prevent you guys from entering trades. I mean, there might be some opportunities that will come up and set up and run through, but and the trade here is still running. So the momentum pullback scalp is still running. I think this will play through, but the only problem here is that, the only problem here, and there it's probably going to hit, is that there's a lot of inconsistencies in the market. And so full TP right there for the momentum pullback scalp. I didn't take the entry there, but full TP right there. I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I mentioned before, guys, if you guys don't feel comfortable about taking positions, you just have to pull out early or just don't take the trade. Because the last thing you want to do is be stressing out over a trade on a Friday. Friday's not the day to stress out. Today's the day to relax, right? So if you had a good week so far, I mean, we had a decent week. It's not a great week, but we had a decent week. So for the week for me, let's go back to my spreadsheet over here. So for this week so far, I've taken 4 trades. I've taken 1 trade on Monday, momentum pullback scalp. I took 1 trade on Thursday, breakout V2 partial. Took a trade on Thursday, momentum pullback scalp, and then today I took 1 trade for a V1 variation. And then also on top of that, I took one speculative trade when price pulled back into the range. I'm not going to count that here because it's not an official strategy, but you guys can see I've taken 4 trades for this week, no losses, just decent wins. This would have been another win, but kind of glad I didn't take it because I would have been stressing out about stupid range right here. This range is a mess, guys. So this range here is really what's kind of deterring me from taking any trades right now, because the last thing I want to do is take a sell down here and then price pulls back up here and it starts to stress me out because price is just going to be bouncing around this area. So Yeah, Maddie mentioned there's a high-low scalp V2 that's setting up right now as well. Take this off. So let me add this to the spreadsheet. Williams asking, hey Sean, where can I message you on Discord? My username is at Kodi Kai Trades. So if you go to Discord, I mean, you can go to the group, but if you go to Discord, my username is Kodi Kai Trades. No spaces, just Kodi Kai Trades. That's how you can message me on Discord. All right, so let me add this to the spreadsheet. This entry came up at 7:08. Put some notes here. Was in a heavy range. Price got really close to TP. Then full stop loss. Then straight down to full TP. So I'm always updating the spreadsheet here, guys. If you guys want to see the trades that come up, just go on the Discord. Of course, I update these spreadsheets every day. Vimal gave me actually an updated spreadsheet that I still need to work on. Thanks, Vimal, for that spreadsheet. I just haven't had time this week to put it in. But Vimal gave me basically an automatic spreadsheet, so I don't have to color it in, which is great. So I feel good about our community, guys. Our community here, everybody's looking to help each other out. Everybody's looking to be efficient. It goes full circle. I help people with trading, and you guys do good. You guys do good in trading, makes me look good. It's a full circle there. We all make each other look good, and we all help each other get better at trade. So it's a win-win for everyone here. So, all right. So there's a lot of levels right here. As you guys can see, there's a lot of levels here for the high-low scalp V2. I don't know if this is exactly one that I want to be kind of caught in, but yeah, there is a lot of levels here. There's one here that's starting to set up. It looks like these ones above are not setting up right now per se, but there is one right here that is setting up for the most part. The ATR is kind of low though. It's currently at 17 right now, so the market's a bit slow. Maddie said I'm 5-0 for the week. Gonna call it a day. Yeah, me too, probably, Maddie. So I'm probably not gonna take any more trades myself, guys. I'll mark them up for you guys as they come in, but the ATR here is starting to die down. You can see how the volatility is starting to get very low. Candles are getting super small. It's not going to be really feasible to take these high-low scalp V2s and actually ride into the full TP. So if you guys do want to take these trades, I'd probably round up to the closest ATR, which would be 20. So maybe do a 20-20 instead of a 30-30. But I'll mark it up for you guys. So right now we currently have one that's setting up here. It hasn't filled yet, or it hasn't actually fully set up. We have the lower low right here, price broke and closed below it. We're looking for the fake out, and we're looking for the correction back down. So we don't have any entry here just yet, but it is setting up for an entry. We just need to see that green candle break and close above it. I think I would probably be more inclined to take something like a momentum pullback scalp, because momentum pullback scalp is actually, it's only 10 points, so it's a lot easier to get in and out of this position. But the problem here is that you need to get an opposite signal before you can get that. So here's the 5-minute as well. I'm not sure if you were following this, Rashida, but you can see here that pretty much all of the high-low momentum scalps hit. The 5-minute here hit. It was a good confluence. So if you guys were looking to take the entry there, this is actually another confluence why I took the speculative sell earlier too, because when Rashida mentioned, hey, how's the 5-minute looking? I looked at it, price came up. As it came back down, I entered right there, and that's where it kind of lined up with my analysis here. I had my analysis that said price is going to drop below. This over here on the 5-minute also was a confluence that there was a sell that was running. We also had the high-low scalp V2 that was currently running at the time. So the trade hasn't filled yet. If you guys want to take this high-low scalp V2, the entry is going to be here at 33,978. That's where the sell stop should be sitting. It's currently in a pullback right now. So price fake out right here. It's deep in the pullback. If it comes back down to fill entry, that's where the entry is going to happen. So the entry has not filled yet. It's not currently active. It's pending right now, waiting to be filled. And this would be the high-low scalp V2. there might be a momentum pullback scalp also setting up here once we get a sell signal in place. So as you wait for that, I'm going to go ahead and start taking screenshots of my profits. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I mean, I did pretty decent today. Pretty decent for a Friday. I'm glad that what's it called? That I merged my FTMO. I hate taking screenshots of so many accounts. I think eventually I'll probably merge my TFFs and fund engineer. It's just a lot of work. And I hate the downtime. All right. So let me go back real quick. So the high-low scalp V2 is currently running in profit, guys. Again, the ATR is very low. So if you guys want to hold on to this for a partial, the 10 right here, I'm going to mark it up for you guys so you guys understand where these levels are at. So if you want to get out at 100 pips, it's going to be right there. If you want to get out at 200, I think 200 would be ideal because ATR right now is currently 17. So the market is moving a bit slow. However, if you guys want to go for the full move will be right there at the 300. So it's going down to the 100 right there. Yeah, 100 pips right there, full TP if you guys held on to that 100 pip move. There's no momentum pullback scalp yet. Here goes Maddie. Maddie with the FOMO. Maddie's like, I'm done for the day. He's like, go cut a partial. It's all good, Maddie. I'm gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna take it. I'm just gonna hold off. It's just funny because Maddie was like, oh, I'm done. And he's like, oh, partial. I'm out. It's all good, Maddie. Profit's profit. So you got your 6-0 for the 6-0 for the week. Yeah. All right, guys. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Price is currently at the 4-hour support. It's a risky area to be trading in because price can bounce from this area or price can continue climbing down. It's not deep into the 4-hour support. So you can see the 4-hour support is pretty far down. It can probably continue to climb down a little further before it actually has a bounce. But I just don't like where market's at. It's currently in a new range. So it was in this older range here. It looks like price has finally established this as the new range. So yeah, I mean, we can continue looking for entries here. Price actually never came down to the lower level of liquidity. You guys can see my markup right here for liquidity. Craig said, can I speak to someone about possible mentoring? Maddie is actually mentoring. So if you want to talk to Maddie, you can reach out to him. I'm not mentoring right now, but I'll probably, so I get into phases. I get into phases where I want to mentor and sometimes where I don't. Right now, I'm pretty content because, mentoring, it just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort for me. I do pretty well at just trading. So like, for example, here are my profits for the day so far. And here, let's go back to your question, Chase. So Chase is asking, what prop firms am I using aside from FTMO? So here goes all of my profits for the day. My first account right here is Funded Engineer. That's one of them, right? My first account, Funded Engineer, locked in 1,600. This is my FTMO number 1, locked in 1,680. My second FTMO locked in 3,540. My third FTMO locked in 2,960. This is my first personal account with Hero FX, locked in 870. This is my IC Markets account. I'm trading with a new broker, just trying to see how they work. Locked in at 300. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll take this back. This was my Funded Engineer number 2 account, locked in 870. This is my first personal Hero FX, locked in 393. This is my second personal account with IC Markets. I just got some friends are starting up like their hedge fund or whatever, and I'm using their account to see, how their account works and stuff, and if I want to trade for their hedge fund and stuff like that. So this is my second personal account. This is my actual personal account. This is the hedge fund account that I'm kind of trading for right now. 510. This is an IC Markets account. And then this is my TFF down below. You can see they're the same profits. They're pretty much the same account. 100K TFF, locked in 1,932. And my second account, 1,932 as well. So Yeah, I mean, trading is kind of like it's going in different directions right now for me. So you can see over here, like I mentioned, I'm trading for, or I'm trying out their account for this hedge fund. So I mean, I'll see if their account's good. I'll trade for their hedge fund for a little bit. I'll get my licensing with them, and then I'll start my own hedge fund. So I mean, there's different directions here. That's why I don't really want to mentor as much because I make pretty good from just trading. I don't have to teach anybody. But there's some times where I do want to teach. So yeah, Craig, reach out to Maddie or even Sisu. You can maybe mentor with Sisu again. Sisu's tough though, so I think you've mentored with him before. So you can talk to either. I think Maddie's probably gonna be your best option because he's actually helping a lot of people. He's actually gotten like I think how many people now, Maddie? Like 4 people funded. So Maddie's pretty solid. He's gotten 4 people funded. He's learned directly from me. So Maddie's like, basically a direct a direct mirror image of like what I'm teaching. So yeah, if you want to be mentored on this type of trading style, I think Maddie's your best option. If you mentor with Sisu kind of does things a little differently. So it might not be exactly what we're doing, but it'll be pretty similar. But yeah, guys, hopefully by next year, I'll be back into the mentoring mood again. I'll want to mentor people. As I mentioned before, my mentoring is going to be a little different moving next year. I talked to Maddie about this. I think we're going to be doing groups and monthly mentoring. So it's not going to be our normal mentoring where we get on these one-on-one sessions. We're going to be having group sessions where we're going to meet pretty much every day for an entire month. I'm basically going to guarantee your success because you're going to be doing exactly what I'm doing for a month straight. So we'll be having these live sessions. Right after the live session, we'll meet for a mentoring session. I'm going to look over all of your trades. I'm going to chew you out for all the dumb trades you made. Make sure you don't make those mistakes moving forward. And then, a rinse and repeat next day, same thing, until you really drill into your head that, okay, this is how you're supposed to trade. And this is how you remain disciplined and consistent. So look out for that next year, guys. Next year, I'll probably be doing like a monthly mentoring group where it'll be a closed group, but I'll be meeting with you guys basically every single day to make sure that you guys are doing things properly. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see when I start to feel like mentoring again, and when we do, it's going to be good. It's for sure going to be good because I'm going to be on you. I'm basically going to be like Sisu. You guys have ever mentored with Sisu before. So guys, the high-low scale V2 is still currently running. This is the reason why I didn't want to take the position. You guys can see how it's not going anywhere. It's just bouncing back and forth between this area, right? So I'm super glad I didn't take the trade here. I already knew this was going to happen. This is why I decided not to take it. There's no momentum pullback scalp because there's no sell signal at the moment. And there's nothing here on the 5-minute. So let me see. Yeah, there's just nothing. The only trade that's currently running right now is the high-low scalp V2, which I didn't take and I didn't really recommend anybody take because of this range right here and that it's currently at support. So yeah, no, definitely. Shannon said, I'm glad to be here. This is the best group. I dropped admin, another group to focus and appreciate. Yeah, definitely, Shannon. No, I'm glad to see you back here too, because I know you've been here for a while. So I'm glad that you've decided to stay. The thing with the trading space, guys, is that people come and go all the time. That's why I don't really, unless you really want to trade with me, it's going to be hard for you to like really get things down because people are always shifting and trying to think new things, which is completely fine. But once you guys figure out that this trading style and strategy is for you, then I'm here to help you guys out. All right, let's see. It's 7:48 right now. There's no other entries for us available. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And we'll see what else we've got over here. I don't know if there's any other questions that I missed. I'm scrolling up on the chat right now. Yeah, exactly. Shannon said, absolutely. Dealing with thousands of radical traders mess with my mindset. I'm here for the long haul. Yeah, like what Shannon said, guys. So like the thing with our community here is that we typically all trade the same, right? That's why we all have like similar minds and we see things pretty similarly with the market. like Shannon mentioned, she was in another group where like there's like 1,000 traders there, but everybody's always arguing and like kind of fighting each other on strategies, right? I think once you guys realize that there's no one way to trade, that's when it kind of opens up your thought process, because then you can start to accept that other people trade differently. But it's hard to like really like have growth in those types of groups because everyone's kind of fighting with each other and arguing and telling people that their strategy sucks, and it's it's not a good place to learn how to trade, because when you're in a group like that, everybody's kind of everyone's trying to one up each other, right? And I don't think that's a good way to learn, because like for example, here I trade one way, Rashida trades a different way, Patricia trades a different way, Cece trades a different way, but we all kind of we all come together and we all understand that like, okay, this strategy works, but this strategy works. And if like two confluences work together, it's usually going to be beneficial. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Yeah, Shannon's scamming and egos everywhere. Yeah, that's usually how those groups go. That's why I'm pretty strict with this group. Like if people start arguing in the group, I usually just boot them or something like that. Because we try to keep the peace here in the group and we try to keep it trading. So let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Ken said, not gonna lie, excited for the mentoring group. Yeah, the new mentoring group's gonna be cool, guys. Because so here's the thing. So I'll just give you guys a little rundown of how the mentoring group's gonna be. So we'll say 2024 Kodi Kai mentoring. So basically, the way that it's gonna work is we'll have live session, regroup after live session to review trades. Review trades, review journal. So everyone's gonna have a journal. We're gonna pretty much journal everybody's trade. I want to make sure everybody's on point. So like, for example, you guys see my journal over here, right? These are all my trades for the year. Everybody's gonna have a journal. Every trade you take, whether it's a win or a loss, you're gonna have your trade pretty much lined up here. And we're gonna have notes, right? We're gonna have notes whether it was a FOMO trade, partial move, what was going on in the market, stuff like that, so that you guys understand what's going on in the market. You guys understand what mistakes you guys are making, because everybody's going to make mistakes, right? Not everybody's going to be perfect. But yeah, for that mentoring session, we'll have a live session. Right after that, we'll kind of meet up real quick with the group, kind of just go over the trades that came up for that day. And then either we'll have another group session or we'll do one-on-ones where I'll go over everybody's pretty much journal. And this is like where you can just be open with me, right? You can't like, you just have to be open. Like you have to admit to your mistakes. You have to understand that you're making mistakes, because you're not going to be 100% like me. Like you're not going to be taking trades here and then not be making mistakes or following into positions. And that's how you guys will learn. So yeah, basically live session, regroup, review journal, journal trades. And then we'll do like maybe like weekly review of trades. And we'll probably do this for like, yeah, for a couple of weeks. We'll do this for like maybe 2 weeks. And then we'll probably, the last 2 weeks, you'll be on your own. And then we'll still regroup to figure out, what needs to be changed. So we're basically going to fine tune you. So like if you guys are going to be in this mentoring group, I'll pretty much be fine tuning you every single day. I'm going to say, okay, you made this mistake. This is what you got to do differently. And then you'll make those changes. The next day you'll come back better. And then at the end of the week, we'll put everything together. And then hopefully by the end of the month, you'll be like pretty disciplined to not screw up anymore, right? So I think that's a problem with a lot of people. You can be good for 1 week or 2 weeks, but for a whole month is difficult for a lot of people to just stay disciplined and stay on point. So yeah, hopefully next year I'll talk to you guys about that when it's ready. But yeah, I think for our first cycle, it's not going to be for beginners. It's open to beginners, but it's mainly going to be for people who understand what they're doing and they just need help to get to that next level. So all right, guys, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. It's currently 7:53 right now, so I think this is going to be about it for our session. Price is back into the original range. So you can see the original range is right here. And it's now back to itself right here. So I'll sit around for a little bit, guys. I'm going to go and take screenshots of all of my accounts. So I'll take screenshots of my profits. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And then we can go over them. And then if there's nothing here, then we'll just wrap it up for the day. I'm just going to go and take my screenshots. There's my funded engineer, my FTMO 1680. $35.40. $29.60. Yeah, as you guys can see, price isn't going anywhere. It's probably going to sit in that range for a while. My second funded engineer, it's 70. My personal account. And my TFF. All right, TFF is perfect because of this exact same. I'm going to take one screenshot. All right, so I got all my profits right here. I'm going to post them up in a group real quick. If you guys have any more profits, feel free to send them in, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. Did pretty good for Friday, guys. 1 second. Allergies are killing me. Took the air purifier out of my office. I got to put it back in here. But anyways, so here are my profits for the day. We got some more profits here from Surin. Total profit of 231 for the day. All wins. Nice work right there, Surin. I'll add this over here to our profits for the day. Surin's profits right there. Let's see. So we got Surin total profit of 231, all wins. We got Maddie total profit of 270 per account. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, about 1,700 for the day. All wins for Maddie on his Apex accounts. We have Kevin over here, total profit of 37,200. We got Kenny over here, total profit of 1,660. Nice work right there, Kenny. We have Barack's earlier profits, 15,180. Nice work right there, Barack. We have Francis, total profit of 380 per account. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. My math sucks, but we're just going to say it's well over 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Francis. We got David over here, total profit of 23.97. All wins for the day. Great work, David. Andreas, total profit of 1,010. We got Jamie, total profit of 414. We got Valentine, total profit of 2,242. And here are my profits over here. So we got my main account right here. This is my funded engineer account, total profit of 1,600. That's my funded engineer 1. Here's my first FTMO locked in 1,680. FTMO 1. Second FTMO total profit of 3,540. This is my main account with a green strip. You guys can see this is where I take all my trades. So this is my FTMO number 2. Here's my FTMO number 3, locked in 2,960 for the day. FTMO 3. Scrolling down further, we have my second funded engineer account, total profit of 870 for the day, all wins here. Funded engineer 2. Here is my personal account on HeroFX, locked in a total profit of 409. Okay, the lot size is a bit smaller. That's why my profit's smaller. It should be like 700, but it's all good. I was messing around with my lot sizing on the copier. Here's my second personal account, locked in 510 on here. So there's my second personal. Here's my TFF, locked in 1,932. TFF1, and then my second TFF right here, total profit of 1,932 for the day, all wins. So those are my profits for the day, guys. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. We have Delicia over here, total profit of 104 on this account. Nice work right there, Delicia. And then on her second account, total profit of 999. Nice work, Delicia. Nice recovery on that account right there. It looks like you took a bit of a loss right there, and then you came right back with the following trades. Great work right there. But yeah, guys, you guys can see over here, price is still stuck within this range. It's not a good area to trade in. It's actually 8 o'clock now, so there's no reason to be trading moving forward. Let me go and just add up my profits for the day so far, so I can just have this for our profit to be posted today. 1,400. Wait, this isn't even. Oh, I forgot to update it. Okay, so here is my profits for the day, actually. There we go. All right, so let me just add that up real quick. So we got 1,600, 1,680, 3,540, 2,960, 870, 393, 510, 1932, 1932. So total profit of 15,417 for the day across all my accounts. This is the level that I want to get you guys to, right? Like, this is my main goal, to get you guys to this level. The people that I'm going to be mentoring next year, this is where I want to get you guys, at least to one account. You don't have to have a lot of accounts like this, but I want you guys to at least have like my main account here, right? I think you guys would be pretty happy making a couple of $1,000 a day, trading for an hour, because it's possible. You can see right here, I took one trade. That one trade gave me 2,700, and that was only 100 pips. So, if you could focus on just one good trade a day, and I think that's going to be our main focus during our mentoring group, is really to just teach you guys to focus on just one good trade. You can focus on that one good trade, win the trade, and then rinse and repeat the process every single day. So once you guys are good and you guys can have one account where you have pretty decent profits, even if you're on a small account, right? This is my personal account. This is like my own money. I made 510. You think about it, 510, this is more than what a lot of people make working a regular job. And we only traded for like about an hour. So this is my goal. I want to get you guys to like one solid account. And then from there, you guys can add your copier like I do here. I have 9 accounts. So it's like everything multiplies. And it's just a rinse and repeat process every single day. So, I believe in good karma, guys. So that's why I'm doing this, because I don't necessarily have to mentor, but I think helping you guys kind of helps me too. It gives me confidence in my trades, and it just goes full circle. So, I give good karma comes back to me in the form of profits, and it's a win-win for all of us. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for so far. Let's see. Craig said, not going anywhere now, K2 only. Probably won't be here trading through December, but January back to normal. Yeah, no, that's fine, Craig. You know how the market is during the winter anyways. During the holidays, the market kind of slows down a bit. So I'll still be here. I'll be trading. So you can always pop in here and there and just see, if there's anything you can take. But I think that's better, because then when your focus is with your family, you're not going to be trying to trade every single day, all day long. So I think that's good, Craig. It's good that you have a backbone to like keep you away from the markets, because the market's really going to play with you during during that time. Yeah, no, definitely. Craig said you won't be starting a new FTMO until January. What I'd recommend is look for the sales. So look for like the discount codes, buy your challenge during December, and then don't start it until the next year, because I think you have like a whole year to start it anyways. But all right, guys, I think that's it for today. I think this is the longest we've been on this session. Just follow their social media. Usually on their social media, they'll post something like some Christmas coupon or something. And it usually lasts for like, a week or so. So, all right, guys, it's 8:03 right now. If you guys don't have to trade, which I'm pretty sure nobody does, I'd wrap it up. We had a pretty great week so far, guys. 4 trades for this week from Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's about it. So 4 good trades today, 4 wins, 0 losses. We're on a pretty good winning streak right now for the past couple of weeks from October 24th up until November 10th, all wins. So, all right, guys, other than that, have a great weekend. Be safe. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here on Monday for market.